Alright guys, welcome to the channel. I am Josiah, and this is kind of exciting because this is my first video. But I'm not gonna let that stop me. Alright, so today I am going to share a little bit about what I've gone through in the past year. Just thinking about it from now, I really am thankful to God for the experiences that I've had this past year. So I'll just get right into it. I really want to focus on how God has led me through these experiences to grow my relationship with Him. Last year, around September of last year, I was diagnosed with amplified musculoskeletal pain syndrome, which means that I pretty much have juvenile arthritis, or in simple terms, I just hurt all the time. That was really challenging for me because it's definitely not normal for a person my age to hurt all the time. But I do. I'm often sore, I often have aches, pains, and any little thing I do, I'll really be sore afterwards. So this has been the first full year that I've lived with amps, and it's been difficult, I won't lie. It's difficult because I know that other kids my age don't deal with these things, and yet I'm limited to what I can do because of this. Or if I do try to do things, then I just hurt for a while. So that has really been something difficult. Another thing, this past year, I hit rock bottom back in February. I really fell into depression and anxiety. I had an anxiety attack at work, so I had to quit my job. I pretty much dropped out of school except 3 subjects, and it was really difficult. Just the thoughts that I had, the patterns of how I was thinking, they were very unhealthy. But it was through that experience that I really found hope in Jesus. And I think it's interesting because sometimes it can be easy to find hope in Jesus, but sometimes it can also be difficult. And for me, it was difficult to find hope in Jesus until I couldn't find hope in anything else. I hit that rock bottom, and I had no will to live anymore except for Jesus. I had suicidal thoughts, and really what kept me from ending my life was just God and the hope that He brought me and the comfort that He brought me while I was at my lowest of lows. And I think that we all can relate to that at some point, where depending on what you're going through, no matter what you're going through, there may be a point where you realize that things of the world are going to let you down, but God never will. And He definitely didn't let me down when I was at rock bottom, and He won't let you down when you're at rock bottom. So that was really something that I learned this year. Fast forwarding to this past September, I was diagnosed with heart block, which is a type of heart disease. And that really rocked my world. They told me I would need surgery and that uh, if I didn't get surgery, it would just get worse and worse and worse. So that was kind of came out of nowhere. And so living in with the reality that you need surgery is kind of difficult, just with all the worries and anticipation that comes with. And so my surgery was scheduled. I waited and waited and waited till the day before my surgery, and they called and said, we're postponing your surgery. There's another child that needs surgery more than you do. And that was difficult for me because for me, like, I really need surgery. My heart block has really, really affected me in ways that normal kids probably just won't really understand. But it was that time where I had to put myself to the side and say, there's another person who needs surgery even more than I do. No matter how important I think my surgery is, there's actually another kid who urgently needs surgery. And so this whole year has really, really made me rely on God more than other years. Really more than I've had to before. And I think I've really grown through that. And so I want to encourage you. You will go through difficult things, if not now, later. And those difficult things will most likely rock your world. But here's the thing. Jesus will be with you no matter what, and you can always depend on him, and you can always find hope in him, because he will never let you down. He will never let you down, and that's something that I think a lot of us know but haven't felt. And over the past year, I've really felt that. I have been forced to not rely on my own understanding, but trust God, because His will and His timing will be done. And we're not always going to understand that, but we can always be certain that it will work out. That eventually we'll realize, if maybe it's when we die, maybe if it's when we get to heaven, but one day we'll realize that all the things we went through were worth it. And so this Thanksgiving season, I've really begun to realize that there is Thanksgiving in the things that I've gone through this year, and there can be Thanksgiving in the things that you may have already gone through or might go through in the future. My favorite Bible verse is James 1:2-3, which says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you face trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness." I think that's a very important verse that should really give us encouragement that in the difficult times, in the trials, we can find joy. Not because things are going terribly. It would be very difficult to find joy in terrible things. But we can find joy in that it will be worth it, and that God will use whatever you're going through for His glory. One of the things that really stuck with me is the phrase, God never promised it would be easy, but that it would be worth it. And I think that really applies because, in fact, God pretty much promised that it would not be easy, but He did promise that it would be worth it, because one day we'll get to have communion with Him in heaven, and it will be all worth it. It will be all worth it. So, yeah, that's something that I really wanted to share, because that's just what I've been going through in my life this past year, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate. And I hope I could encourage you through this video. So yeah, I'm so glad that you watched this, and if you enjoyed it or if it made an impact on you, you could help me out by liking or subscribing, and if there's some way I can pray for you, just leave it in the comments. But yeah, just thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Have a blessed day.